Hello and welcome to another beautiful day on the farm. You join me as I just popped up the cows here. Give them another just over 10,000 liters worth of TMR. The trees are flickering, so if that bothers you, I do apologize. Feel free to not watch this video if that is something that affects you. I don't know how to fix it. I think it's some mod conflicts or just the amount of mods. Anyways, off the back, the last episode, we got rid of that new fancy dancy front windrower thing, and we went out and we got the Convertland as a replacement. It's kind of like the same one that we had. I think it's a touch smaller, but we're going to give that one a try. We do have a fair bit of Convertland equipment here on the farm, so we wanted to stick with brand loyalty. We got all the bales picked up. These are all the silage bales that we have. Full trailer, 2 stacked, and we have 2 more in the bed of the Lin track here. The 1 smaller bale and the 1 bigger bale. We've got our 1 big bale up here at the sheeps. The sheeps are full, and we have 7,302 liters left in that bale. So that will keep those guys going for a while. Moving on down into the main shed here. Got our Massey. We are out of silage. We've got a little bit left of straw here. And we've got a pretty good run of hay. I'm not sure if it's going to make us through the winter. Each time we do a feed, we do 1 full bale of hay, 1 full bale of silage, and a little bit of straw. We are going to have to buy more straw. That is a given. But this is a pretty good amount of hay, I think. And we'll just see how far it makes us. I don't think we're going to have to buy more hay. But we are going to have to buy more straw. With that being said, we are now into August. And the soybeans are ready to harvest, which is just awesome. I've been waiting patiently for these soybeans to be ready to harvest. So we'll hop up into the class here. And we'll go get pinned up to our trailer. And we'll head her on out to the field where the combine has been patiently waiting for the last couple of days. So a few things just before we leave the farm. A couple things have changed. We did buy a header trailer. That was like $600. We figured we might as well buy one of those. We needed anyways. And we got that tank installed. We've got the milk tank right out here. You can close up the door. It opens up just fine. Doesn't really hit. It's close. They measured a couple times. They placed it down once. So that this cost us $8,000, this tank here, and it holds an additional 10,000 liters of milk, which brings our capacity up probably around 40,000 liters of milk, which I think is good. I'm pretty sure the trailer that we normally rent out from our neighbor is around 30,000 liters, so it gives us a little bit of extra room to play around with. And I think that's everything that's new, other than this bale grab. We bought this bale grab as well when we were moving around all the bales. It just seemed to make sense. The increase of bale volume just kind of warranted bigger bale grab, especially for stacking them all into the shed. I think that bale grab's going to come into good use. So it was definitely a good investment on the farm's behalf. We definitely did not have far to go to the soybean field, which is nice. All our fields are pretty local. Our other fields have now sprouted as well. We'll just turn the tractor off. As you can see, our field of barley is growing well. Very nice. And our field of soybeans is ready to harvest, which is awesome. It is fully fertilized, but there was some weeds in it. Not sure about the yield. Apparently the yield bonus is 83% if you're looking down at the bottom right hand corner. So it is what it is. But, nothing to it. Like to do it. Let's get the combine fired up. It's been a little while. She did start, no dead battery, which is awesome. We'll do a couple of headland passes, and then we'll start on some up and down rows, which is pretty standard stuff, really. Nice to be back in the harvester. We won't be back into the harvester for a little while. Let me just speed time up to ×5. Yeah, we'll run it at ×5 for right now. I don't think there's too much we got to get through today. We got to get this field harvested, and we might put down some nitrogen. We've got a fair bit of manure. It might take us every last bit of manure we got to get this field spread. But I do also have the field calculator mod installed, so we could actually get a proper representation on how much manure it's going to take to bring this field up a fertilizer state, at least to 50%. I don't think we would ever have enough to do double application on this field, but it is what it is. Harvester's working out alright. We're almost to 1,000 liters. I'm not expecting it to be a super high yield, considering soybeans is a fairly low yielding crop to begin with, but so far so good. If any of you have watched my new time-lapse series that I'm trying to do, are you liking it? Liking it? Not liking it? You would prefer if it was an actual video that I talk over and do some dumb, silly things occasionally, because most of my videos are dumb and silly. But yeah, let me know how you're liking that. If you are, if you're not, feel free to let me know that as well, because if you don't like it, then there's no real point of me doing it. It's quick and easy for me to throw those together and record those. I can record them on nights that I don't work super late. In those nights I normally get off around 6 p.m. my time, and I get home around 7, have some dinner, and I can probably, the recording of the videos take about an hour, which is about all the time I actually have throughout those nights. And then the next night that I'm off at that time, I would have enough time to record or edit it down, so it works out alright that way. Considering these videos do normally take longer, I can record anywhere from an hour to almost 2, and then editing takes a while, and just even the processing of the videos themselves take a while. My PC isn't super capable, and it maxes out the GPU from time to time, which probably isn't the best for it, but she hasn't let me down yet, knock on wood. So yeah, how have you guys been doing? Hope you guys have been doing good, staying happy and healthy. Summertime, at least in over here, is upon us. We had a bad storm roll through. I don't know, it's probably going to be 2 weeks ago now from the time that you're watching this. I'm trying to get a week ahead in my recording schedule, just in case something pops up. Like yesterday, it was Thursday for me. I had a funeral to go to. It was my great-grandfather, passed away. Wasn't super close to him, unfortunately, but he was a good man, and he'll be missed by lots of people. But yeah, stuff like that where I didn't actually get to sit down and do anything productive, really. Well, once I got home, I actually edited 2 videos, but my internet was cutting in and out so bad yesterday because we had another storm roll through. I couldn't upload anything. I tried it. The videos made it to like 5% and then said network connection error. I couldn't download any mods yesterday or do anything, so it just was, the whole day was pretty well a write-off. Well, I did edit those 2 videos, but it is what it is. It wasn't as productive of a day as what I was hoping the day would be, considering I only get so much time off. But it is what it is. We can't win them all. Things happen, and that's just why I'm trying to stay a week ahead, right? Life is unpredictable at times, and especially when you work on call all the time and you never know when that phone's going to ring. These trees flickering does really bother me. I wish I could change it. I tried to do a debug on it, and it's made the trees more green instead of amber and yellow and more of the fall colors. I was hoping that was going to work, because when I got into the game save earlier, it was really bad. It's a little better than what it was, but it's still not great. So if you know any fix to that, please feel free to let me know down below in the comments. And while you're down there, you might as well hit that like button, subscribe, upvote, downvote. If there even is a downvote button anymore, I don't really know. Just hit the buttons down there. And yeah, let me know how you're doing. We are at 50%, so we'll probably get 2 full combine loads out of this field. Doing a bit, maybe. We're doing pretty good though. That was a peacock, if you heard that. I don't know, I've got my windows open. But the rain that came down yesterday, oh, isn't that just a beautiful smell? A nice, fresh, dewy, rainy day. Just that nice, not so much hot, but like a damp smell to it. Oh, it's just beautiful. So I got the windows open, so if you hear some of the peacocks going off in the background, I'm sorry. Just try to ignore them. I normally do. I don't think I really need the beacon lights on working around in this field, but there's the neighbor's tractor down there. If you can see the JCB way off in the distance, it's actually hooked up to the tanker trailer now that we normally rent off of them. And by rent, I mean just hire him to come and pick up our milk. They've got a pretty big dairy operation over there, so they've got all the high-end equipment. We don't see too much of them. They're not really a family-run farm. They are more of a corporation. But it's still nice to have neighbors that are willing to give a helping hand. They definitely don't charge us too much. But to be honest, we normally just take our milk right into the town that we're right next to, so it's not too much work for them. And it's just nice helping everyone out. We try to help them out if they need it. Speaking of helping people out, I think we might get into some contract work here as well to help bring in some income to the farm. There's quite a few plowing jobs available. Our plow and tractors kind of, it's going to make the jobs a lot longer. But if we can hammer out a couple of those and do what we can for some of our neighbors, even if it is going to take us a little while to get said jobs done, it will bring in a little bit more income to the farm, which is always a good thing, especially coming into the winter season here. We do have our soybeans here that we will be able to sell, and we also have some sorghum in the silo, so that's good. We've obviously got a full load of milk coming up here shortly within the next couple of days, so that'll be some income as well. I'm not planning on selling any of the silage or hay, just because I want to make sure we're going to have enough to get us over the course of the winter. You know, standard stuff. We do have a little bit of wool as well. That's not going to bring in too much income, but it's all going to be extra, right? It's just going to help us out. Just the one? Just the one. They normally do that 2 or 3 times, so I just normally try to be quiet. Because the peacocks can be very loud and obnoxious. But we're just over 80% here. We will get the combine emptied out, and we'll start on some up and down rows. Might as well just leave the tractor right here and just keep overloading into it. Soybeans bring in some pretty good money too, as long as you can find the perfect time to sell. You normally do alright with them. Let's just make sure this line is going to be nice and straight.
when it comes to her, you better keep it sealed. Don't you dare say a single word, or I will strike you where it feels. You think that using her would get to me, and if you're right then you're in trouble deep. 'Cause I won't break, no I know I won't wait. You're in trouble deep.
So I think that's about half the field done. I think. Judging by what we've done so far in the headland, I'm thinking that's at least 50% of the field done. Just get this last little straggler. We'll dump whatever we got, another 2,000 liters into that trailer. I also want to see how full that trailer is. I think we got enough room there for maybe 4,000 more liters, but I'm not 100% sure. So when we dump this load, we'll give that trailer a check. We'll climb up on the top there and see how much more it can fill. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. The harvest is going by pretty quick, actually. It's going pretty good. No real hiccups so far. My AB line's working good on the combine. Might as well turn the header off. Unload into there. Trailer's just over 70%. 74%. Yeah, I think this trailer holds 18,000 liters. I think. Only got one vehicle in the used market today. That's pretty piss poor. 18,500 liters. Boy, that guy's noisy outside today. He's like, screw you, tow man. I'ma making noise. And you want to leave your door open so it stays nice and cool while you're recording, and the windows open so you're nice and comfortable. I'm just gonna ruin your day. That's what he's saying when he's squawking like that. There is no females around, and there's nothing going on outside, so he's literally just squawking for the sake of hearing himself yell. Guess I can say the same thing for me about making these videos, but hey, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, we're working on the last little section of the field here. We should have this knocked out pretty quickly, I think. So I think I will see you guys once that trailer is full. Well, this is the harvest pretty well wrapped up. I'm not sure if you remember from a couple of minutes ago how I was saying everything was going off without a hitch. And there's no hiccups. Well, the harvest itself had no hiccups, but for some of you, you might have already written a comment down below and said, "Oh man, you royally screwed up somehow, some way." I'll give you a second to see if you can realize how I screwed up. I'll give you a hint. Look at the top right hand corner. No, it's not the money. The money situation. We sold the previous rake for the same amount of money as what we paid for it, and we bought a cheaper windrower. In a roundabout way, it kind of worked, kind of didn't. I think we did kind of make off with a little bit of extra money on top, but to be honest with you, it wasn't that much. I'm not playing this game to be super hard on myself, so if I get an extra $1,000 here and there, that's doesn't bother me super much. The main issue is that it's August, and if you remember correctly, I think we started this series in August, And this is episode 4 or episode 5 or something along those lines, and we're back into August. So I don't really know what to do because technically we can't even plant our barley yet. Our barley should not be in the ground yet. So I don't really know what's going on. Which means our barley next year will be ready to harvest before it's actually ready to harvest. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what happened, and of course we have 4% left in the combine. Just enough. It's the same thing with the sorghum field. Like, am I really gonna make a whole other trip to the sell point for an extra 300 liters? I don't think it's really worth the fuel, so it'll probably just sit in the silo. So the date situation, I'm not really sure what we're gonna do yet about that. Yeah. Does it need to be fixed and rectified? Kinda, sorta. I would like to get into next year sooner rather than later, just because we are kind of running out of jobs to do. Now, to be fair, if we did play on through August into October, November, we would be able to cut the grass again, which is kind of needed. We do kind of need the grass to get a stockpile going, but that's kind of cheaty. That is very kind of cheaty. I don't know how this actually happened. It could have been when I tried to reset the trees, that it actually reset the season. That would probably make the most amount of sense. So, duly noted for next time, don't click that button again. We'll get our 18,500 liters of soybeans dumped into the silo. We actually made pretty good off that field. I did not expect to get over 8,000 or 18,000 liters of soybeans, but hey, we did. So there's that. So what I'm going to do is that we're super great. No, it's not. We're not going to sell anything for right now. But what I'm going to do is, now that that field is harvested, I'm going to have to take a run, well, not take a run, but go back and look at the previous video, which hasn't even been released yet. Figure out the exact time and date. Not the exact time. And fast forward us through to that day, which just means I have to feed the cows. So I'll just we'll spawn that stuff in to do that, just so it's not actively screwing my supply over. I'm not going to cut the grass. That's just going to wait until spring of next year to properly do that, which I think is fair, right? So I'm not actually benefiting off of anything. The only thing that I will benefit off of, and there's no real way of changing that, is the amount of manure and slurry. Now, I could technically load trailers and delete it, and load trailers and delete it. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. And the amount of milk. The milk will just get maxed out. That's the only thing that will happen with the milk. It'll get maxed out, and that's it. That's all. The sheep's wool I can delete. And yeah, so we're not making any extra money off the sheep's wool. I'm literally just keeping them fed so they maintain their productivity. Yeah. So I got a little bit of work to do here. We do have everything put away in storage. The crops, I guess I can leave the trailer just right there, can I? Guess it's not hurting anyone. That's where we're gonna need it anyways. Yeah. Kind of disappointed in myself for letting this happen, and especially not noticing until now. Oh, the header trailer. Right. Alright, well, I'm going to bring the combine back. get everything put away, pass some time, and I'll see you back at the appropriate time that it's supposed to be, I guess. Oh, happy days. Happy, happy day. Well, we're back into November. After skipping through a day or two, the trees have now started flickering even worse. I then remembered through the F12 menu, I can go to here and I can set the day and I can set the time and it's just fine. There is no breeding interval, which I completely forgot to take into account, or anything remotely close to what I had to do. So I took this bale out because I didn't want them burning through all my hay, but since I only went through a day or two, I'm just gonna put that there. They didn't consume too much. The cows, on the other hand, milk 39,000 liters, so apparently it holds more than 40,000 liters now. The straw is better off than what it was. The slurry is at 67,000 liters. I don't even want to know how much manure we got. And we're a little bit better off on the total mix ration. But all in all, we're kind of somewhat similar. The milk is what it is. Yeah, we got 45,000 liters worth of manure, and the manure spreader is full as well, in case you guys didn't know that. The grass is ready to harvest, but we are not going to touch this until the spring. So everything from here on out is all my own devices. I did want to propose a question, so please let me know down below in the comment section. Should we sell our Lintrack? Should we sell the Lintrack? Should we sell the bed to go with it and the actual slurry spreader? The slurry spreader is very small, like very, very small, to the point where to do one of our fields, it's almost not worth it unless we put it on a worker and do the worker thing, which I don't even know if we can do because it's a non-plate, like it's an aftermarket barn. So like we go to worker refill slurry, free range cow barn, we can, but that's only with worker, right? So I don't really want to do that manure heap extension, so we can do the same thing with manure to where it just literally pulls right out of that pit right into the slurry spreader. Not realistic at all, like in the slightest. But that's the only way to really make it halfway decent. So I am leaning towards that. The Lintrack itself is pretty pricey. $130,000 we can get for that. I am not going to get $130,000 for that. I would probably sell the Lintrack itself, the bale loader, and the slurry spreader for about $100,000. So to sell the Lintrack, bale trailer, not the bale trailer, but the bed, and this, we would get $100,000. What we would do with that, we would have to buy a slurry spreader, which is going to be a little bit bigger, and maybe a tractor. We're pretty good on equipment for right now. The things that we are lacking is the slurry spreader and maybe an extra tractor. Do we really need another tractor? Not really. But it would be nice if we can have something that can run the front loader and something that can be in the farm here and do the mixer wagon and have a tractor out and about doing like a contract or something with some hired help. Anything like that would be kind of nice, especially since the Lintrack doesn't really hook up to this well at all. Well, it doesn't. The PTO doesn't attach. This is something I would also like to get rid of and upgrade. It's Russian, and for being a feed mixer, there is nothing to really mix other than the rollers up here at the top, or at the front. I do like the size. The only downfall is the only thing that can replace it with the size. Oh, we got some new pieces of kit in the used vehicle sales. A little forklift. We can afford it. The only thing that we could afford. The Allison Chalmers. That's a beautiful tractor. 302 horsepower. Yeah, too big. Too big. Don't really need it. No, the trailer would be nice. 16. That's a lower capacity than what we got now. That's, yeah. No. But nothing there. Yeah, the only thing that we could replace our mixer wagon, about the same size as this one here, the Coon. 90 horsepower. It's not EU. Doesn't have any of the markers on the back. It's just got the slow moving side. I don't know. I really don't know. This one could potentially be a good replacement. I feel like it's used a lot though. And the only other thing for mods that I was looking at for a mixer wagon, this one's beautiful. It's always beautiful. It's a decent size too, and it's got a realistic bale crushing, more realistic running is what they call it. I did just download this one here. It's 30,000 liters, 73,000 bucks. It's a nice size. It's pretty tall. I'm not even sure if our little Massey would be able to get bales up that high, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat and nifty. We definitely don't need anything that big. And we don't have a TLX, so that's out of the picture. But that's the same as the one that we were looking at firstly. So I don't know. It's definitely something that we got to think about. But I think what we can do is we can spread some manure into that field over there. I think we should have enough manure. Let's just take a look. Field 185. Do 185 manure, 33,000 liters roughly. We've got 45,000 liters, and this is full as well. So we should have enough manure, as long as I don't really bugger it up. So we'll get some manure spread in that field. We got the combine put away. We'll close that down. We'll spread some manure in that field, and I think we're going to call it there. Maybe it's a little shorter of an episode. I don't really know. I think the first recording was like 30 minutes, and then the second one was like 10 or 5. And this one's already at 8 minutes. Yeah, I'm pretty good at rambling. If you haven't noticed, I'm pretty good at talking a lot, not saying much. It's my best quality trait, I think. Talking a lot, but never saying much. But please do let me know down below in the comment section. Ooh, this is pretty heavy. I should probably get a front weight on. Let me know down below in the comment section if we should sell the Lintrack and use that money to invest back into the farm. I'm leaning to the yes, because what do we really gain with the Lintrack? We gain a bale loader, which we already have a trailer, and we have a small manure spreader. We can't really use it to run any pieces of our equipment. And if we got to get down to town quick, we've got the van, which we haven't really used too much, but we do have the van, so it's not really that big of a deal, I don't think, if we get rid of it. I mean, we've had those on the farm for a long time, but I think our farm's kind of outgrown it. Even though our farm's not that big. And, oh, there goes that sign. And since I had to pass through time, man, those trees are getting bad. Since I had to pass through time, weeds have already sprouted up, which it is what it is, I guess. Can't really do much about that now. Let me just get a line set up here for the manure spreader. And we'll get carried on. Apparently it's just taking off by itself going down the hill. 18,000 liters of muck will do that. We got a fair bit of weight behind us, so we'll get this thing unfolded. Struggles a little bit going up the hill, so let's try to do most of it going downhill, I guess. Just get lined up here. Brakes, please. Thank you. And off to the races we go. Spreading at 18 meters, not too bad. We will have to refill a couple times, I think. I think this is a pretty good end for the episode once we get this field hammered out. We got some thinking to do and what our next moves are going to be. We also don't have any plowing equipment or salt spreaders to make it through the winter. So I might do a little montage of feeding the cows throughout the winter. We also need to get some fertilizer put down on that field there. Our barley fields need fertilizer. Our grass fields needed fertilizer, but they are ready to harvest now, which is another thing that we can't really do. So we're not going to get the best grass yields again next year. Is what it is. Can't really win them all. Oh, I just royally buggered myself up here, didn't I? And we're out. Okay, that's good. That almost ended real badly. Like, almost really badly. I'm not even going to put this on a time lapse because the trees are flickering so bad. Even in cab, they're bad. I mean, they're a little bit better in cab, but seeing all those flickering trees is giving me a headache, so I'm sure it's probably doing the same to you. So I think I'm actually just gonna end the video here and call it an episode. In the next episode, we're gonna do what we can. I'm not gonna make any promises, but this field will be done. We might get into those fields and spread some fertilizer off camera as well, but I'll see if I can get like a little snippet, a little clip of that, just to prove that, hey, I'm actually out here doing the work. Yeah, with that said, guys, if you liked the video, hit that like button. If you didn't, don't know if there's still a downvote button down there, but feel free to hit it. And let me know about the Lintrack, and if you know any way to fix those trees. Hey, for a second, they stopped flickering. Oh my god. How beautiful. It's almost like the game looks pretty good when they stop flickering. And I ruined it by moving my camera. Anyways, guys, hopefully you have a good day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Toodles!